It was late in the evening, August the 15th of 1997, when a young girl by the name of Kemberly Lauren Raymer went missing. Today we're going to tell her story. We are in Opp, Alabama, small town right above the Florida line. Today here in Opp and the surrounding areas, we're going to travel around to all the places that could have had anything to do with this case, and I'm going to tell you the story of Kemberly Lauren Raymer, who vanished that night and has not been seen since. As I said before the intro, today we are starting out looking at the story of Kemberly Raymer. We are starting out in Opp, Alabama, and we're going to retrace and travel around to all the places where the investigation went while they were searching for Kemberly Raymer. Late in the evening on the 15th of August, 1997, Kemberly Raymer was actually right here. This is the Opp softball field. She was here enjoying a softball game with all of her friends, unaware of the events that would unfold, causing her to become one of the largest manhunts this area has ever seen. She left the softball fields here that night, headed to her boyfriend's house, which was not far from here, just a couple of minutes away. Long story short, her mother or father, they didn't even know she had a boyfriend. Only her group of friends that she went to school with knew. Turns out later on he was, thoroughly checked out and was ruled out as a suspect. We don't know the exact time, but between 11 and 11:45 she left her boyfriend's house to come home to this house right here at 416 Ida Avenue, where she lived with her father. As she pulled out of the driveway and left her boyfriend's house that night, it was the last time Kemberly Raymer was ever seen alive again. Her father was gone for the night. It wasn't until 2 days later, when he hadn't seen her, he went into her room. He said he noticed that the sheets were unusually misshuffled and pictures were falling all over the place. It was just in complete disarray. It was noted that a pillow had been pushed in between the bed and the wall. Who knows how the pillow wound up between the bed and the wall? I know sometimes if you're in your room and you're moving around on your bed and it's banging into the wall, this, that, the other. I have personally done that myself, stuck a pillow in between it to stop it from making any noise. I have no idea if that has any significance as to why the pillow was there. Maybe the bed got scooted out when the intruder came in, but there was no signs of forced entry. So that means whoever came in was either let in or had a key to get into the house. They found everything still in her room. Her purse, her wallet that had money in it, jewelry, and the shoes she wore every day. And her car was parked right underneath the carport, just as it always was. And which is why the missing persons report was not filed for 2 whole days. When the police came to investigate, they noted that there were clear signs of a struggle in her room. From that information, the police deducted that it was foul play, and Kemberly Raymer was taken against her will. Someone else is living here now, so I'm not going to walk up and interfere with their privacy. And first, as always, the family, they're the first suspects, but pretty quickly, the City of Opp Police Department and the FBI ruled out all of the family members one by one. It has now been 22 years since that fateful night, and you may have guessed the reason why I chose this episode is because it happened on August the 15th, which is tomorrow. So tomorrow is officially the 22-year anniversary of that fateful night. Hopefully someone will come forward with some kind of information. Over the years, they received several tips. They really never led anywhere. In fact, like 9 months after her disappearance, it was on her 18th birthday nonetheless, They received 2 separate anonymous tips, which sent investigators out to a rural lake way out in the country. The tips claimed that her body was dumped there. They searched and searched and searched for 3 days and found nothing. In 2001, a non-profit group from Texas searched another area with cadaver dogs where they had gotten a tip. They got several hits with the cadaver dogs, but then they went to searching and all they found was an engine block that had a rope tied to it. No sign of Kemberly Raymer or any other wrongdoings. And then again in 2006, they received another anonymous tip which sent investigators out to a sinkhole right across the state line into Florida, Ponce de Leon, Florida. And again, that search turned up no results as well. Her family desperately wants some answers, even all these years later. This case has been on TV, on quite a few shows. There's a Facebook page set up dedicated to it. Her mom is still actively doing everything she can to find out what happened and where her daughter is. Her mom also has a person that she suspects did it. Based on FBI reports, obviously, according to her, the FBI have sat down and talked to her about some of this stuff. And the suspect at the time was actually dating Kimberly's sister. All right, it's crazy. Kimberly's mom, she's convinced he did it. There's just no physical proof. There isn't enough proof to make an arrest. The police and the ABI and the FBI, they're all fully aware of the guy. In fact, like I said, they told her about it. But at the time Kemberly Raymer went missing, he was out on bail for some other serious crimes that he had committed. A short time after Kimberly's disappearance, he was sentenced and was sent to prison for those other offenses. He's never confessed to any of it, but despite investigators asking many times, he always refuses to take their lie detector test for this case. Another tie into that, okay, my father knows a guy who late one evening they were talking back and forth on the computer and were discussing things that he saw. He claims that he was in the woods north of Opp, Alabama, when several people, I believe if I'm reading it right, he said 6 people took Kemberly Raymer up into the woods and killed her. This, we've already reported this to the police as well. He claims that there was a police cover-up, that either she was dating someone or a policeman's child was involved, so the whole crime was covered up. He also claimed that it was done because her father, Kimberly's father, owed a bunch of drug money and refused to pay it, and they were retaliating. All right, so now we're going to switch back to the mom suspect. His father was a police officer in one of the counties where the tips came in and investigators drained one of the ponds. I don't know if the two are tied together. One of them saying there's police corruption. One of them, who they suspect did it, has a police officer for a parent. In the conversation the gentleman had with my father, he claims that he was out there in the woods and he saw it. He said he reported it, and because of a police cover-up, nothing was ever done about it. Another interesting thing that kind of ties back to all of it, the morning Kemberly Raymer went home, that morning at I think she said 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, Kimberly's mom says that there were a series of calls made from that house to a Florida number. The interesting part about it is, though, is this person who they suspect did it was supposed to be in the exact area where those phone calls were made to. Something else that ties him to it, if you think back to where I said the person who abducted her or killed her, they don't think she was killed there at the house, so we're going to say abducted. The person who abducted her, they said there was no forced entry, so they either were let in or had a key to the house. Because the person they suspect was dating Kimberly's sister, and was in and out of the house all the time. Kemberly's sister claims he had a key to that house. So they think they've got the right man in their sights, but they can't prove it. They have no proof of it. He's not talking. He's refusing to take lie detector tests. Who knows if they'll ever get an answer. I'm not going to mention his name because he has not been convicted. If something were to happen and he would get convicted, I would do an update and let you know what it is, what it's all about. But so far, no one has been arrested, and the case is still unsolved. The last time Kemberly Lauren Raymer was ever seen, she was 17 years old. So that would make her about 42 right now if she were still alive. She had brown hair and brown eyes, and she had clear braces on her teeth. This would have been around the Opp, Florala, Kinston area, somewhere right in there in 1997, right after school got started back. If any of you out there have any information about what happened to Kemberly Lauren Raymer, please do not hesitate to call the City of Opp Police Department. We really need to get some closure to this family. That is it for this episode on Kemberly Lauren Raymer. Hopefully one day her family can have some kind of closure. I mean, really. All right, so tomorrow is our 10,000 subscriber giveaway. Make sure you come back to check that out so you can see if you won. I want to thank you all for watching. I mean, big time. If you would like to help support the channel and all of our travels, check out some links down in the description box below. It is always much appreciated. Thank you all. I'll see you again tomorrow for that giveaway, and I hope you have a great day.